Zaldrizes Buzdaris goes down.
Please, if you enjoy this kind of content, do me a massive favor and help me defeat the shadow ban that is YouTube and demonetizing, also delisting my channel from their algorithm, whereas I make 100 House of the Dragon videos and literally none of them have ever shown up in their algorithm. Please help me out by subscribing to this channel, slapping a like on it, and then also making sure you have your notifications turned all the way on. And lastly, as a way to completely remove the stress that is uploading to YouTube and not knowing whether the video that I put all of this time and energy into it is going to do well, I've created a Patreon. Right now I have 13 episodes of a podcast called Leaks of Lore that is available exclusively on that platform. I also have several tiers that you could consider checking out that have multiple different types of reward. Please consider checking that out. It's linked down below in the description. And then also, I've made a second YouTube channel because ultimately I'll probably have to shift to uploading my content there. I've linked that down below in the description. Please go consider subscribing to my second channel and then also joining my Patreon for just a few dollars. Once I reach my goal of $1,500 a month, I'll be completely unreliant on YouTube's ad revenue and I'll be able to explore new types of content without having the fear of being continuously shadow banned. Also, big thank you to every single member of my Dragon Knight tier on my Patreon. Those members include the North Must Remember, Heart of Inspiration, and Breanne Johnson. Thank you all so much for joining that tier. Y'all fucking rock! Okay, so if you're unaware, for these plot leak types of videos, they're usually sent through me through the DMs over on Twitter. Speaking of which, make sure you go follow me at Sir_Hunts, right? And then also consider following me on Instagram at Sir_Hunts_reviews. But over there, people send me leaks. And normally, I just pass them off as this is nonsense. And that's the same thing with this information. Even though it seems somewhat legitimate enough for me to make a video on it, it's still a load of horseshit. Nothing is confirmed until it airs on our screens when House of the Dragon Season 2 comes out, hopefully by spring 2024. So, take it with a grain of salt. Now, the first thing that this leaker mentioned, remember, go follow me over on Twitter at Sir_Hunts. I don't just tweet, my videos. I also tweet funny things and then also images that I make and then also memes, right? So, blood and cheese will apparently happen in episode 2. And then Daemon will take Harrenhal in the opening scene of episode 1. That's kind of interesting because if that's true, I've been debating on whether I think the opening scene will be Jace arriving in Winterfell or maybe even a shot of Aegon II in Sunfire. But this person's claiming that apparently Daemon taking Harrenhal will be the opening scene of episode 1. Then they go on to mention that there will be 2 major flashbacks this season. One of them, and it doesn't specify which one, but one of them will be the opening scene of an episode. It's supposedly about 15 minutes. So if that's true, that means Emily Carey and Millie Alcock could be coming back to play the younger versions of Alicent and Rhaenyra. That'd be awesome, right? And then this person mentions that this is really where it sort of falls apart, but they say that Laenor does come back, and he has a son with him. That son is Adam of Hull. Apparently, this person thinks that it's likely just a bastard of Corlys that Laenor is named as his own son for some reason. But they mention that Laenor will die of a Myrish crossbow bolt to the neck after it's revealed that he found out about the blockade of the Gullet in obviously House of Velaryon and Rhaenyra and the Blacks going to war with the Greens. So this is what ultimately makes him decide to come back. And he ends up saying something to Adam of Hull, and they're talking about he's going to go reclaim Seasmoke and join the war. But ultimately, his ship is attacked. Adam of Hull is taken captive, and then ultimately, Laenor's killed by a Myrish crossbow bolt through the neck, right? And then this person also mentions that, this is kind of interesting, the reason why Daemon was singing to Vermithor in House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 10, was because he will be ridden soon. Obviously, we all know that. That's one of the things that I've been saying. But they say that the dragon seed idea for the series, for the TV series, will actually be Daemon. And it's hinted at the fact that he may have some bastards around from before he married Rhaenyra while he was still with Rhea Royce in the Vale. Like before he goes to the Vale and kills Rhea Royce when her horse bucks and Daemon smashed her head in with a rock. Apparently, the reason why Daemon mentions the dragon seed idea and the whole reason why he did what he did to Vermithor is because he potentially has some male heir bastards who are going to claim some of these dragons. So that'd be interesting. What if Ulf the White is actually his son, or Hugh Hammer. Like, Hugh Hammer is the son of a blacksmith, so maybe that blacksmith was actually Daemon's father's bastard, and Daemon is somehow akin to Hugh Hammer or Ulf the White. That would be really interesting. Supposedly Ulf the White is a drunken. But what ends up happening after Daemon mentions the dragon seed idea and it's hinted at that he has bastards, the camera then cuts away from them into a girl. Just a regular girl on Dragonstone sneaking into a farm, and then we end up later on in the episode finding out that she steals away with a sheep. Like, the whole point of that person sneaking into a farm was to steal sheep. Like, obviously this leaker is hinting at the fact that this is going to be our first introduction to Nettles and Sheep Stealer. Like, we're not going to see Sheep Stealer this episode, but we'll see Nettles sneaking into a farm to steal a sheep to go and feed Sheep Stealer, all the while revolving around Daemon having potential bastards and the dragon seed idea being his idea. And that's supposed to take place in episode 3. We'll see. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. That was just, in my opinion, the most interesting part of these leaks. And then this leaker goes on to say that Rhaenyra will end up flying Syrax twice this season. One of them will be in that flashback that was supposed to be in the opening scene, 15 minutes of an episode. And then the other one is to take, get this, King's Landing. Load of bullshit. I don't think it'll be happening this early, but maybe. I mean, I thought it could happen in episode 10 of season 2, but we'll see. Let me stop including my thoughts. I'll just read out the rest of these leaks and then come back to it and say my thoughts, right? So the person mentions also that there are several actors being looked at for several roles in season 2. They mention these actors. Henry Cavill, of course. Jamie Campbell Bower. That's the dude that played Vecna in Stranger Things. And then there are several different women being looked at, in particular for Sarah Snow. The leaker doesn't mention who Henry Cavill, Jamie Campbell Bower are being looked at, but, I mean, we can kind of guess, right? So, if that's even true. But the women that are being looked at for Sarah Snow are Jodie Comer. Actually, no, that's not true. Jessica Barden is the one person that's being looked at for Sarah Snow, and Jodie Comer is actually being looked at for Alice Rivers. I'm showing you images of them right now. What do you all think of these potential castings? Let me know down below in the comment section. And then the last couple of things, supposedly the budget for this season will be 15 to 20 million per episode. That's probably pretty legit. That's around like 200 to 220 million for season 2, and obviously this is the most viewed show since Game of Thrones, so HBO is going to put everything they have into season 2. And the person mentions that there will be dragon scenes, and this is really exciting, in every episode. Supposedly, there will be either someone mounting a dragon, riding a dragon, fighting with a dragon, but every single episode will contain dragons. And then the last thing that this person mentions is that filming will be started in January, and that scripts are being finalized right now. So that's really exciting. But we're making pretty good time in this video, so let me rerun through the leaks, my thoughts left out, because even though I said I wasn't going to put my thoughts in, I still couldn't help myself and put my damn thoughts in. Alright, so remember, please consider to go check out my Patreon. That's just a way for me to become completely independent from YouTube's ad revenue. Once I make my goal of $1,500 a month, that doesn't mean I'm not going to upload to YouTube. If anything, that means I'm going to upload even more because I have that safety net of not having it affect it to the point where, you know, my YouTube channel is just not getting any views. Like, if I'm making that ad revenue consistently from my Patreon, I'll be able to upload freely here to YouTube and explore different types of, content, not just A Song of Ice and Fire. Also, everything that I upload to Patreon is exclusive there, so please consider trying to join it for just a couple of bucks. So this person mentions that Blood and Cheese will happen in episode 2. Daemon will take Harrenhal in the opening scene of episode 1. There will be 2 major flashbacks. One of them will be the opening scene for an episode, and that will take place or the length of it will be 15 minutes. And then, obviously, Millie Alcock and Emily Carey will be coming back to portray their roles in one of those flashback scenes. And then they go on to say that Laenor does come back, and he has a son with him, a bastard son with him. That son is Adam of Hull. It's likely a bastard of Corlys since Laenor's gay, but Laenor ultimately dies of a crossbow bolt to the neck after it's revealed that, he found out about the blockade of the gullet, and that's why they're coming back to war. Basically, Laenor is taking his son Adam, and Laenor's going to go try to reclaim claim Sea Smoke, but obviously Laenor dies, so Adam will eventually go on and mount Sea Smoke like in canon. And then they mentioned that the reason why Daemon was singing to Vermithor was because he will be ridden soon. The dragon seed idea is proposed by Daemon, and it's hinted at the fact that Daemon may have several bastards from before he married Rhaenyra while he was still with Rhea Royce of the Vale. The camera then cuts to a girl sneaking into a farm to steal a sheep. Then we have Rhaenyra. It's mentioned that Rhaenyra will fly Syrax twice this season. Once is in the flashback with Alicent when she's younger, right? And then another one will be at the very end of the season to take King's Landing. Now, the events are supposedly going to be mixed around, so that may be the case. It may not be at the end of the season, right? And this is the actors that are being looked at for season 2: Henry Cavill, Jamie Campbell Bower. It's unsure what role they're being eyed at, but Jodie Comer is supposed to be being eyed at for Alice Rivers, and Jessica Barden is being looked at for Sarah Snow. Now, the budget will be $15 to $20 million per episode, and every single episode this season will have dragon scenes. And lastly, filming starts in January, and scripts are being finalized now. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please remember, take that information with a grain of salt. It is all a load of horseshit. Nothing is confirmed until it airs on our screens. Also, it's so early in the process for season 2 that the season 1 just ended less than a month ago. So that's even less credibility to this information. These kind of videos are just really fun, and they do really well on my channel, so I'd be a damn fool to not upload this kind of content. If you all enjoyed it, please do me a massive favor, slap a like on it, consider checking out my Patreon. The like goal for this video is going to be 420, and then also ultimately make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on. I don't not in my second channel is linked down below in the description. Also, if you want a little bit more content before I upload my next video, I did a live stream that was proof of Shadowbane. Look at all the comments. No one got notified for it. It's like one of my least viewed live streams over the past several months. But go and check it out. It's linked down below in the description, and I talked for about an hour and a half of multiple things that could happen in season 2, and just I give my commentary and analysis, and then most importantly, I interact with the chat, and that's always really fun. So consider checking that out. It's linked down below in the description for some more content. Long night.